First and foremost, welcome everyone for attending to our 352nd meeting of Toastmasters Club. So what is our goal of Toastmasters Club? First and foremost, is basically to improve and learn to develop our communication and leadership skills. So that includes public speaking, organizational skills, and everything. And we as university students, we always believe we always have to start from somewhere, and Toastmaster Club really fits everything here. Okay, so what is the theme for today? The theme for today is actually look at the mirror. So what I mean by look at the mirror? So you are looking at yourself, right? So basically that is what I meant by introspection, the moment of looking into yourself and reflect back and think about how to improve ourselves and think about your personal well-being. And that also holds true for our club as well, as Toastmasters Club, where our own members will have a chance to think about, sorry about that, the dogs are barking outside. Sorry about that. So what we are doing right now is basically like this. So we first have our own member as being a GE. So we let our own members have a chance, especially new fledgling members, to take an opportunity to look in their own eyes and tell us what they think about us, evaluating us objectively throughout this whole meeting itself. And secondly, towards the end of meeting, the Zoom master will graciously prepare us a form for us to collect our feedback towards the end of meeting. I think it's after the evaluation session. So your participation on this is very much appreciated. So thank you so much. And then next slide, please. So this is what I said just now, look at the mirror, and the word of the day is reflect. So to think carefully. So what I mean by carefully, so essentially when we think, we need to think before we speak. We will say, we should speak properly. We don't say anything that can hurt other people's feelings. And that is one of the good examples. Many parents that tell us what to do. Don't talk bad things about your parents or your relatives or anyone else. Or don't do anything silly. That's why we are told to think carefully. Next slide, please. So before we start this meeting, at this starting of this meeting, I'd like to thank first Danish from Malacca Toastmasters Club as our table topics evaluator for evaluating all our table topic speaker later on. And second, we managed to get in our special guest, our evaluator, Harpreet, to evaluate a free level 5 project speech, which will be done by Ikhtifar. And lastly, Zarina, a distinguished Toastmaster from Shah Alam Toastmasters Club, to evaluate one of our new fledgling member, Zhi Jun. Next. So I'd like to welcome our Toastmaster evening, Toastmaster Jefri, to officiate this meeting. Before I start doing this, I forgot one thing. I need to get a gavel and say the meeting is officially started. Once this is done, I'd like to welcome Toastmaster evening, Jefri, to present the rest of this meeting. Jefri, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Meng, for that wonderful opening address. Hi, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jefri, and I'm the host for this evening's meeting. Let's kick off by looking at the history of Toastmasters International. Now let's travel back in time to 1906. We hear of this man named Ralph C. Smedley. He is the YMCA Educational Director, and his dream is to help people develop public speaking skills and leadership skills. And he helped a lot of people to develop self-confidence. And what better way to develop self-confidence than through constant exposure to public speaking. Fast forward to 1924. This is the year where he established the Toastmasters Club at a basement at the YMCA building in Santa Ana. And he said that, why do I want to create a Toastmasters Club? The reason is because he wants to help the members to develop public speaking skills so that we can express our opinions verbally. At Toastmasters meeting, we also learn how to conduct meetings, not the ones that are formal classroom style meeting, but rather one that is fun and engaging for everyone. And at Toastmasters Club, we also learn how to plan programs, and we receive constructive feedback from fellow members. And in the future, we will improvise our skills in event management. At Toastmasters, we also learn how to have management skills by joining as club officer or as an ESCO member, which will benefit us in real life. Currently, Toastmasters International has helped more than 280,000 members to develop public speaking skills in 144 countries. Everyone who partake in Toastmasters Club meetings and contests has experienced tremendous improvement in their self-confidence, their leadership skills, communication skills, and event planning. Here is the history of Toastmasters Club. It was founded by Professor Marohaini Yusof. At that time, she was the chairperson of Chitra, and I dare say that without her, we will not be meeting each other today through this platform. And Mid Valley Toastmasters Club and Maxa Toastmasters Club came to conduct a demo meeting, which led to the establishment of TMC in 2007. And as a matter of fact, this year on the April, we will be celebrating our 16th anniversary of TMC. Now let's move on to the flow of the meeting. The meeting will be divided into 3 sessions. First of all is the table topic session, then the prepared speech session, and the evaluation session. For table topic session, each guest and member will have the opportunity to practice thinking and speaking on the feet. In the prepared speech, our members will attempt the pathway projects and present to a live audience. And in the evaluation session, the project speech speakers will receive constructive feedback from the evaluators and the technical role players. Now, I would like to introduce our 4 technical role players to help us improve. First of all, I would like to invite Grammarian Toastmaster Joshua to introduce the role and the word of the day. Toastmaster Joshua, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Evening, Jefri. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. I am Joshua. I will be your grammarian for tonight. And as the grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I'll also take note of any improper language, as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. For today's meeting, the word is reflect. So there are 2 meanings to the word reflect. The first one is to think carefully. An example is, Susan felt she needed time to reflect on what to do next. So that is the first meaning, to think carefully. The second meaning to the word reflect is to show or express something. An example is, his blank face reflected his boredom. So the second meaning is to show or express something. And towards the end of the meeting, I will also provide my Grammarian's report when called upon. And that is all from me. Back to you, Toastmasters of the evening.
Thank you, Toastmaster Joshua. Let's invite our counter, Toastmaster Henry, to introduce the role. Toastmaster Henry, over to you.
Hi, my name is Henry, and my role is R counter. The purpose of the R counter is to note words and sounds that are used as a crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen for overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for filler sounds, including and I also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase, such as I, or this mean. At the end of this meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker used these expressions. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Henry. Let's invite timer, Toastmaster Meng, to introduce the role. Toastmaster Meng, over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jefri, for the kind introduction. Greetings, my fellow Toastmasters and guests. As timer, I will time the table topic speakers, formal speeches, and the evaluations. I will also alert each speaker on the time they have left using the green, which I will demonstrate right here. Can you see the green one here? Yes?
Yeah.
Good. Yellow.
Yeah.
And red lights on the specific time remaining. Please be informed that the timing details will be explained by the respective session masters. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster Jefri.
Thank you, Toastmaster Meng. Let's invite our General Evaluator, Toastmaster Nicholas. Toastmaster Nicholas, over to you.
Okay. Hi, my name is Nicholas and I'm the General Evaluator. This is my first time as the General Evaluator. As you know, as a General Evaluator, I will host the evaluation session and give my general feedback about the meeting performance. I lead a team of evaluators who are the evaluators to give constructive feedbacks to the speakers. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nicholas. Without further ado, let's begin the first session, which is the table topic session. I would now like to hand over control to Toastmaster Ikhtifar.
Thank you, Jeffrey, for the kind introduction. Hi, everyone. I'm Ikhtifar. I'm your table topics master for tonight. So before I start, as you know that today's topic is to reflect on yourself. So before we start, I would like to ask you, Ming, to kindly demonstrate the timing device for table topics. So it will be green light at 1 minute, yellow light at 1.5 minutes, and red light at 2 minutes. The light will stay at red until 2 minutes and a half, and you will signal the end of your speech. So please finish it by 2 minutes. All right.
How would you like me to signal the end of the speech?
By blinking.
Blinking.
Yes.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Is it like this?
Where's you?
Okay.
Can.
Are you guys able to see this?
Can.
Okay, good.
All right. So tonight's speech table topics are chosen by ChatGPT AI, our friendly new helper. So without further ado, I would like to invite or select people for the table topics. Any volunteers before I pick people?
I would like to have a go.
Who's that?
Jefri.
Jeffrey, would you want to decide on your difficulty levels? We have easy, moderate, and difficult.
Difficult.
Difficult. All right. Jeffrey, examining society structures and systems through a critical lens of self-reflection. Examining society structures and systems through a critical lens of self-reflection, Jeffrey.
Recently, if you have watched the news or even read the news, unless you stay in a cave, one of our politician, Syed Saddiq, actually came to UM because he had a plan to abolish the system whereby the rules and the act restricts the university student from expressing their opinions. I believe that this is a critical and important matter because as students, we want to be an activist and fight for our rights for equal education. And here's a fun fact. I have actually attended one of Syed Sadiq's workshop on about policy making, activism, and public speaking. And one of the key points that he told us is that as a university student, we cannot be the typical student whereby every time the lecturer teaches us, we just keep quiet and something uncomfortable happens, we keep quiet until the end of the semester, and then we lashed out. So the solution for this matter is to be an activist. And we always need to be critical of everything around us, especially the education system, as well as the university as a whole. Because imagine this, if you are not an activist right now, and when you grow up, you have children, you got married, and your children are subject to the same system that you were subjected to, which is no offense, it's a horrendous system, I believe. And with the abolishment of the recent act, it's actually opened up to more opportunities for students to express freedom of expression. And I mean practice freedom of expression, which is a good thing because at the end of the day, we all want the best for the future generation and our children. And it starts now. Thank you. Back to you, Table Topics Master Ikhtifar.
Thank you, Jeffrey, for the job well done. Yes, I agree that it's a real hard topic. But what to do is generated by ChatGPT. So any of the DTMs want to volunteer?
I'll go for it, Ikhtifar.
All right, Zarina. So which level of difficulty would you like?
I'll try difficult as well.
All right. Wait, Okay. Reflecting on privilege and power dynamics through personal experiences, Zarina. Zarina, reflecting on privilege and power dynamics through personal experiences.
Thank you very much to the Table Topics Master. Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a society where there are hierarchies within our society. Even if we say that we are egalitarian, there are still differences within our income levels, within our backgrounds, and also in terms of our education levels. So like it or not, wherever we go around the world, human societies live in hierarchies. And in other countries, in some countries, this is called the class system. I believe we're all familiar with this. The class system means that certain segments of society have better access to the benefits of that society because it could be due to backgrounds, it could be due to education, it could be due to connections, and this is what we call privilege. So have you encountered this hierarchy yourself, wherein you have been treated differently because you are who you are? Have you stood in line and then watched somebody waltz in, cut the queue, and get in front of you for no better reason than the fact that they know the person behind the counter? Well, that is a personal experience, and that would allow us or enable us to reflect on the fact that we live in a society of privilege, of different hierarchies. So ladies and gents, the personal experiences that we encounter would enable us to see this, and would also allow us to question, is this the kind of society that we want to live in? It could be different answers for different people. So I will leave with this question. Our personal experience will color how we view society and will also influence our decision on what makes an ideal society. Over to you.
Thank you, Zarina, for your speech. It has been a long time for me to listen to you. Anyone wants to volunteer?
Hi, I will
Nicholas.
volunteer. Yeah.
Who is that?
Me, Nicholas.
Nicholas. Hi, Nicholas. So,
Hi.
would you want to choose your difficulty levels?
I will also choose difficult.
Okay. The intersection of self-reflection and social justice, Nicholas. The intersection of self-reflection and social justice.
Okay. For self-reflection is pretty much of what we would see as ourselves from what we did. And what I can say about social justice can be like what feels right and what feels wrong. For like the current justice system in Malaysia, I can see that there's like a clear black and white, but self-reflection is like what we can reflect on ourselves, what we reflected on ourselves, and see what is our problem and what we actually do. And for the justice system, it's like basically there's no room for self-reflection, it's just the right and the wrong. So self-reflection is basically for us to reflect on what we did previously, and social justice is what I think about that. Yeah, thank you.
Right. Thank you, Nicholas, for your table topics. Ming, are you itching to try?
I would love to give this chance to others.
All right. Who would you choose?
Mr. Teng.
Teng, are you ready?
Yeah, all right. I'm going to take easy question. This topic seems very hard. Yeah, not in my
first
domain.
easy for tonight. Okay.
Right.
How can those experts in technology take easy? It should take hard.
Yeah, if I'm allowed to use ChatGPT to answer, I will definitely go for that.
All right. So I'm going to pass you the topic, yeah? So Teng, the benefits of journaling for self-reflection. The benefits of journaling for self-reflection, Teng.
All right. Thank you, Table Topic Master, and also fellow guests and members. So the topic given to me is the benefits of journaling for self-reflection. So what is journaling? Journaling basically is like you write down in every day, like let's say you pass through from morning until night, and then at the end of the day you reflect back what has happened, what are the good things that happened, the bad things, the key moments, any highlight of your day. You kind of reflect it back and then write it down, and then maybe you can write it in a books, or you can write it in a online in a Microsoft document, or wherever that may be, whatever form. So personally, I do practice journaling beforehand, but again, it is not really consistent. It lasts for maybe a few weeks and then it cut off, because I feel like there's not much things to write it down, because I feel like I'm actually doing like same things every day, you know, wake up in the morning, go to class, then when I got back home, I study, and then maybe go for some entertainment, and occasionally there might be some different events, like for example, hang out with friends, eating out with my family members. But majority of the tasks that I do in a particular day is almost the same. So that's why I don't do that much journaling. But again, I think practicing journaling before exam is actually very good, because like when you want to study, you kind of want to procrastinate, and then you make use of this journaling technique or habits to actually remind yourself to study, to work hard, rather than go and watch a movie or play games. So I think journaling is a good way to actually motivate yourself, so that you are more disciplined to do more things in your life that is productive and useful to you, rather than all this time like playing social media, which is a waste of time. And back to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Teng. I would prefer watching Anya than journaling myself. Ming, do you have time for more speaker?
I'm afraid we don't have much time left. Sorry about that.
All right. So my job is done, and thank to ChatGPT for tonight's topics. Back to you, Jeffrey.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ikhtifar. Shall we have the voting session for table topics?
Yeah, wait, yeah. Let me share. I'm not sure just now the first speaker, I didn't hear it recently. So if
Jeffrey.
there's it's Jeffrey, okay. Okay.
Wait, I
Am I
can
right?
see the answers. Wait, I can see the results.
Wait,
I think I end the poll first. wait.
wait,
If I'm the co-host, I can see the result, right?
oh,
Is it?
yes, yes.
Okay. Sorry, I accidentally ended the poll. okay, restart. sorry.
Yeah.
Relaunch.
Other people just now can see the result.
No.
No.
Okay.
No.
We
No.
can't see.
Okay. Okay.
Jeffrey is shocked.
yeah.
Suddenly you have so much power. So who's the winner, Jeffrey?
No idea.
Nah, you know the result.
Okay, all answer ready?
Think two more.
Two more.
Oh, that counts one of your device, so I think all answer
Okay.
already.
So I think it's one.
I think you can end it.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Can we go? Can we move? Zhi Jun?
All right, so we're done our voting session for the table topic speaker. So now we shall go to the break.
Yeah, we shall have a
So group photo first before break. Okay.
a group photo first. Okay. Wait. Okay. So we'll have two sessions. The first one is the formal one. The second one is the freestyle. So now is the formal one. So everyone look at the camera. In 3, 2, 1, cheese.
Wait, are you taking or
Oh yeah, I'm taking.
I'm taking? You are taking.
Yeah, I'm taking.
Okay.
Okay, again, formal one. 3, 2, 1. Freestyle. 3, 2, 1, cheese. Okay. So we shall have a 5-minute breaks and we shall meet at 8:39. Thank you. Okay, I shall resume the meeting. Okay, hope everyone had a good 5-minute break. Now we shall proceed with our next session, which is the prepared speech session. We have 4 speakers who will be attempting their Pathways projects. Pathway Learning Experience is an education program crafted by Toastmasters International that aims to help members develop 5 core competencies, which are public speaking, interpersonal communication, strategic leadership, management, and confidence. And members can choose from 11 paths that consist of 5 levels, and members can help to can develop their skills based on what their goals are at Toastmasters. Our first speaker, Zhi Jun, will be doing level 1 introduction to vocal variety and body language. Let's invite her evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Zarina, to read the purpose statement.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening. Zhi Jun, the purpose of your project is for you to practice using vocal variety or body language to enhance your speech. Over to you.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Zarina. Let's welcome Toastmaster Zhi Jun. I have pledged. I have pledged Zhi Jun all the best.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening, Jeffrey. First of all, let me share my screen first. So, ladies and gentlemen, will you donate your organs? If yes, that's great. If no, I hope that you guys pay attention, listen to this speech for 5 to 7 minutes, as a minor action may save 58 lives. Sounds interesting, is it? Okay, so let's start now. So this is a big decision I made when I was 19, which is that I choose to pledge, that is, to donate my organs when my life comes to the end. So here's the green card. Yeah, here's the green card and the letter I received from the National Transplant Resource Center. For now, you have many inquiries. So, Zhi Jun, why you choose to donate your organs? Zhi Jun, do your family agree with your decision? Hey, Zhi Jun, do you think that it will contradict to your religious beliefs? Yeah, as for Buddhists, usually the Buddhist has a taboo of death without a world corpse. You may be curious about it, as I believe probably most of our audience do not know much about what organ donation is. Let me explain to you. Organ donation is when you decide to give an organ to save or transform the life of someone else. There are 2 types of organ donors, which are living donors and the deceased donors. Living donors can donate organs such as kidney or part of their liver, while deceased donors can donate organs such as the heart, lungs, liver, kidneys, pancreas, and small intestine. Tissues that can be donated include corneas, your skin, your bone, your tendon, and your heart valves. However, most organs and tissue donations come from people who have died. If you pledge, you can decide either you want to donate all organs and tissues or just several parts of organs I have mentioned just now. If you donate all your organs and tissue, you may save 58 lives, as I mentioned just now, which is 8 from your organs and 15 from your tissues. For me, I have a dream, which is to help people in need. Plus, I was impressed when I saw the news related to organ donation, such as there are still over 10,000 patients are in the organ transplant waiting list in Malaysia, representing a great need for more organ donors to step forward to pledge their organs. Therefore, I decided to pledge, as I can minimize the patient's pain by leaving a gift to the world after I die. If you ask me, did my family agree with my decision as an organ donor or not? So let me tell you a secret, which is my dad almost fainted when I told my parents my decision. As they have a perspective that a person should die with a full corpse so that you won't be a disabled person in your next life. However, after persuading my parents, finally, they agree with my decision. So if you decide to be an organ donor, you have to get approval from your family members, as the final decision is on their hands. If you didn't let them know your mind of pledging, it's useless as family members have the right to refuse to let a deceased people donate his or her organs. I know that there are some myths or some doubts relating to organ donation. So first, if I choose to pledge, the doctor won't save your life, constitute list. So this is wrong, as the doctors have the responsibility to rescue a person's life, no matter the person is a good guy or a bad guy. Second, pledging contradicts my religious beliefs. The reality is, no matter you are Muslim, Buddhist, Hindu, or Christian, all of them support their beliefs to do the good things and to help the people who needs your help, including donating your organs to the patients, the suffering patients. Okay, maybe some of you have raised your mind to be an organ donor. Here comes to the next question. How to register as an organ donor in Malaysia? For me, I send an email, I write, saya nak ikrar, which means I want to pledge to ntrc@moh.gov.my. After that, they send a Google form to me, and I just fill in the details needed and press the submit button. After around 2 to 3 weeks, I received the green card and the letter from the National Transport Resource Center. Okay. However, start from 6 September 2022, you can just register as an organ donor by using the organ donor pledge feature in My Sejahtera app. You just click in and just fill the information required. Yeah, it's more simple compared to before you need to submit the email. Ladies and gentlemen, since we cannot take our organs to our afterlife, the best possible way is to recycle them through donations. There's a quote, a second chance is on your hands. Now, I have pledged. I ask you again, would you like to join me as an organ donor?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Toastmaster Zhi Jun, for the very inspiring and informative speech. Our next speaker, Toastmaster Yee Chin, will be doing level 1 evaluation and feedback first speech. Let's invite Evaluator, Toastmaster Teng, to read the purpose statement.
All right, thank you, Toastmaster of the evening. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, all right. To our speaker number 2, Toastmaster Yee Chin, the purpose statement for your project is to practice applying feedback and serve as a speech evaluator during a club meeting. And the purpose of your speech is for you to present a speech and receive feedback from the evaluator. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Toastmaster Teng. Let's welcome Toastmaster Yee Chin, presenting Be Your Own Superhero, Finding Your Authentic Self. Be your own superhero, finding your authentic self. Yee Chin, best of luck.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today, I'm going to reflect on a topic that has bothered me for quite some months, which is the journey of finding myself and accepting who I am. So from the time when we're young, I believe most of us here have been taught that we are not perfect and we have to improve ourselves. People want us to think, to talk, and to behave in different ways. So we continuously trying our best to convince the people around us that we are worthy and to act in a way that to let others trust us. In other words, we had to act or pretend. We cannot talk or behave like what we wish to do. Therefore, to fit in, I try to act and behave in a way that what the others around me wanted me to be. Just like their expectations, I serve as the vice president of the Chinese society back then in matriculation. I forced myself to step out from my comfort zone, memorizing everyone's name as I have the name list, and greet everyone when I meet them, although I'm still not very familiar with them. This really takes time as it is really hard to memorize everyone's face, to be honest. And yes, I try to act as an extroverted person. And at the start of last semester, semester 1, I tried to fit myself in the KK3 Group 2 Economics gang. But I found that it is somehow hard for me to blend into them as they stay in KK every week, every weekends, while I will always go back to my home or joining other activities. And there's somehow a gap between us. So one day I sat down and I asked myself, am I really feeling happy to do so? And the answer is definitely a no. The truth is, we don't have to live like that. The journey of finding ourselves begins when we accept that we are unique and there's nothing wrong with being ourselves. We have to learn to embrace our strengths and weaknesses and accept that we are not perfect. Everyone else is not. It is okay. It is only when we are true to ourselves that we can start to live a truly authentic and fulfilling life. So have you ever wondered, why do we need to be our own superhero? Just like my speech title. Let me explain about it. I'll tell you a story about the superhero Spider-Man. Peter Parker, who is the Spider-Man, struggles to balance his desire to be a normal teenager with his responsibilities as the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He tries to impress his classmates, especially his crush MJ, by acting cool and pretending to be someone that he's not. But in the end, he realized that he can't keep up to the act forever, and he needs to be true to himself. Just like Peter Parker, we need to reflect and realize that being ourselves is the only way to truly live a fulfilling life. We should accept our flaws and embrace our own uniqueness instead of trying to fit into someone else's ideas of who we should be, what we should do, and how we should do. It may be scary to show our true selves to the others, but it is the only way to form sincere connections and find people who love us for who we really are. Accepting oneself can be difficult and a challenging process, but it is important for our personal growth, mental health, and overall well-being. When we embrace our true selves, we become more confident, authentic, and empowered to make choices that align with our own values and goals. Remember that we are all unique individuals with different experiences, talents, and perspectives. Reflect on yourself, celebrate your strengths, and learn from your weaknesses. The journey of finding oneself is not about becoming perfect or living up to someone else's expectations. It is about accepting and loving your own self for who you really are. Remember, your time is limited. Don't waste it living in someone else's life. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Toastmaster Yee Chin, for sharing with us your motivational speech. Our third speaker, Xing En, will be doing level 3 persuasive speech. Let's invite her evaluator, Toastmaster Ming to read the project statement.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The purpose of this project is for Xing En to understand the types of persuasive speeches and to deliver a persuasive speech at a club meeting. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ming. Let's welcome Toastmaster Xing En. Oh my goodness, there's a blunder. Wait. My apologies. I think I forgot to do her title. Can I just read out verbally her speech title?
Yeah, it's okay.
Sorry. Okay, let's welcome Toastmaster Xing En. What's wrong with the education system? What's wrong with the education system? Xing En, all the best.
Thank you, Toastmasters of the evening. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I am Xing En, and my topic is what's wrong with the education system? Before I start my speech, let me ask a question. What are the keywords you can think of Malaysian education system? You may type the keywords in the chat box, or you can open your mic to speak up.
Mediocre.
Maybe there are some
Mediocre.
abbreviations outdated. Yes, outdated. What
Mediocre,
else?
outdated, and
Mediocre and outdated. Yes. So that is the impressions of most of us have towards Malaysian education system. For me, the keywords are something that you guys familiar with, which are UPSR, PT3, and SPM. All these abbreviations are related to only one thing, exam. Can you believe it? In the year of 2023, Malaysian education system is still too focused on examinations and results. Ladies and gentlemen, what will happen in this exam-oriented culture? The students depend more on memory or critical thinking skills. If memory, type 1. If critical thinking skills, type 2. I will follow up in the chat box. One, there's a lot of one. Yes, of course. I think most of us actually depend more on memory to score results, to score exams, like me. According to an article from hotcoursesabroad.com, students memorize everything. Many students memorize in order to score their exam, something like memorize a whole book, for example, for the history subject. This is done without fully understanding what they have learned. If you are guilty of this, remember that you probably score in the first few semesters, but afterwards, when you face some hot question, higher order thinking skill, you will notice that you cannot regurgitate everything that you have memorized according to that whole book. While there have been efforts to improve this issue, the standard of education in Malaysia is still considered to be lower than other developed countries. Do you agree with me? You may type 1 if you agree. You may type 2 if you disagree. Yeah, I believe just now Meng's question has already answered this question. Most of us actually think that number 2, not so outdated, you mean? Ikhtifar? Okay, I think that, yeah, there have been some improvements in the education system, like the MWET format has already changed to every 4 skills of English exam have the same weightage, which is a very good improvement because back then, MWET exam is actually focused more on reading and writing skills. There have been improvement, but there are still some flaws in it. According to a former top civil servant, Tan Sri Muhammad Sharif Qasim, quality of education is still the biggest issue. He stated that there are also complaints that the primary school curriculum spends too much time on religion for Malay students. During religious classes, the Malay and non-Malays have to be physically separated, as these classes takes up some teaching hours of other subjects like English, history. Thus, English proficiency also comes from communicative activities like concerts and debating classes. If the teaching hours is already not enough, how are the teachers going to organize all these activities in order to improve students' language and also their knowledge on certain subjects? This problem is also happened due to overcrowding in schools and ineffective teaching methods. Why do I say so? Because based on my internship experience, for my class, I have like 35 students. For another class, I have almost 40 students. This can lead to a lack of individual attention for students and reduce access to resources because there are too much students. That means we have to print more resource, like have to cater to every student's proficiency level, which is a very difficult thing to do because one person cannot cater to 35 students at the same time. Thus, the education system in Malaysia has been criticized for being too teacher-centered, with a lack of emphasis on students' participation and also interaction. As an intern teacher, I can prove this point. I spent like 5 to 10 minutes every English period to prep 35 students to be ready for class. One period usually lasts for 35 minutes. That means I had lost 10 minutes just to wait 35 students to be ready. If it comes to question Q&A session, which I will throw a question and then let the students to answer. Imagine there are so many students in the class, like 35, and 10 of them want to answer. They keep on raise their hands. And then I have to manage my time in order to give my attention to every single one of them. So how much time I had already spent during this? Imagine how this could impact on the quality of education students receive. If and only if they can be in a class that have lesser students, they may have better class performance. To overcome all these issues, we have to start now and study intelligently. We have to think, analyze, and reflect rather than memorize everything to score exams. The government should plan and implement effective education system without neglecting the main purpose of the education. Teachers should also be provided with professional development opportunities, including training in innovative teaching methods and classroom management techniques. To sum up, it is important to address all these issues in the education system. I believe that all the stakeholders, including the government, the school authorities, parents, and students are responsible to this problem. By working together and create or discuss effective strategies in order to overcome all these issues, it is possible to create a more equitable and effective education system. That is all for me. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmasters of the evening.
Thank you, Toastmaster Xing En, for the sharing with us the very informative speech. Our fourth speaker, Ikhtifar, will be doing level 5, lead in any situation. Let's invite his evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Harpreet, to read the project statement.
The purpose of this project is for the member to apply the skills needed successfully to lead in a voluntary or other organization. The purpose of the speech is for the member to share some aspect of his experience as a leader or the impact of the 360-degree evaluation.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Harpreet. Let's welcome Toastmaster Ikhtifar, presenting Is the Future on the Cards? Is the future on the cards? Ikhtifar, best of luck.
Thank you, Jeffrey, for the kind introduction. Could a deck of cards be the determination of your future? Or is it on your hands? So in 2021, I had a tarot reading because one of the Toastmasters that I know of is into tarot reading. So he says that, come, Ikhtifar, let's read your future. And he says that, Ikhtifar, I have a bad news. This year is not good for leadership because of this card, the devil. So the devil symbolizes negative emotions, negative impacts, and negative outcomes for that aspect of your life. So he was saying that, no, Ikhtifar, 2021, don't take any leadership rules. It sucks. It will go negative, and you will never enjoy great done. And I decided that, although I was sad with that exclamation, with that revelation, I said, never mind. This year, I will do my area director. I will be area director of W1. I will make sure that all 5 clubs is still surviving and move on to the next term. And I will retire peacefully after that. Ladies and gentlemen, let me share you of how I changed a negative outcome or negative aspect or negative future to a positive one. Leadership is never about saying this. Ming, you have to be champion of D51, no matter what. Or you, Ming, PhD completion, graduation, thesis submission by March. It's always like, Ming, do you want to be the champion of D51? Come, let me help you of how to become there. Or also using people correctly. Like say, for example, recently, I had finished my area contest for W5, and I'm so thankful that our organizing chair, Harpreet, settled everything, and everything was settled nicely by her. And we trusted her because of one thing. She has good network. We were sure that me and Gladys, the area director of W4, were very sure that with her around, role players be no problem because she has a very good network and she knows everyone. And true enough, she managed to get all the role players in check, I think about 2 weeks before the contest, and also settle our CJ, settle the registration and everything by herself. And as for area director, we were so happy that she did 90% of the work. But then how do we do this? How do we know that someone is good for that position? By using a few tools. Number 1, listen. You can know that a person is suitable for certain roles by how they communicate with each other. Are they the sort of direct communication, Let's say, for example, for Ming, I know that he is not the right communicator. He will build up with support and ideas before he goes to the main item. And let's say, for example, Ming, he's more of direct. He's just one that, okay, Ikhtifar, you do this, you do this, you do this. That's how he functions. So we need to know that what type of communication skills they have before we assign them to certain roles. And also the second two, observe. We have to see how they get the job done. Are they the sort of like solo worker, or they need to have teamwork for their job? Like some of our members in our team, in our Toastmasters, they're solo workers, and also they are silent killers. They will get the job done, but they will not reveal all their cards all the time. For example, our VPM, Joshua, he managed to get 100% membership for our club. If you notice in the DCM tracker, our club membership is about 30 plus now. And he never reveal his cards. He never go and do any big announcements or whatever. He just settled the job, which is a good thing. And people like Ming Kang, he needs to be having a teamwork. Let's say, for example, just now, the example that we had, the cable and the UMTMC workshop, he needs teamwork. He cannot settle things by himself. He needs help for sponsorship, for food, and etc. And the third two is heart. After you listen to them and observe them, do you really think that they are in it just because of the skills or just because of the things? Like say, I'm sure that many of you know that Henry volunteered for our area Toastmasters area contest as a backup speaker. He never asked for any additional token or whatever. He just said that, okay, I'll be there. I'll try to prepare my speech. Ikhtifar, can you please guide me through this? And also the last tool, which is the mind. By combining all the other tools that we had before, we need to know, we will decide whether a person is specifically good about this or about that job. Let's say, for example, we have Teng. Teng is good at IT, at technology stuff. Like if you go and talk to him about Notion, right, he will know fully about Notion. You can ask him to like, hey, Teng, let's talk about Notion. Let's see how to organize things using Notion and everything. And he will explain A to Z. So all of this I have learned during my previous area directorship, and also I am implementing it now with my as an area director of W5. I see that in my area, there's a lot of people that is good to get some jobs done, and also like certain things that have been effectively done by others. Like for example, when I'm later on for division contest, I'll be volunteering with Yasmin. And the reason why I volunteer with Yasmin is I know that she is clear with her objectives and also with her delegation of jobs. She's not the type of people that is sort of like going to say that, oh, Ikhtifar, you do A, you do B, you do C, you do D, you do E, and everything else you do. And that's why I trust her and I help her to do work. And of course, these skills and everything I've learned during my area as an area W1 area director. And most of the time, even like during my area directorship of W1, I didn't do much. I didn't do a lot of things. I will just like observe people, see what is the best role for them to do, and I will ask them to do, or I ask them to help. Let's say, for example, one example was during the area contest for W1, I had Ming Kang and Kean help me for the area contest. Ming Kang was the one who tried to find area role players because he's good at networking and he likes to talk. So give that job to him. Kean was an effective Zoom master and still is. So most of the Zoom master responsibilities and roles I have passed to him. And of course, at that time, with the area contest, I had a CJ, which is Saifu from Shah Masters. He helped me a lot by helping me to get the judges and also to get representative judges for judging the contest. So guys, basically, in a nutshell, being a leader is not for you to delegate job. It's for you to shine, to make other people shine and make them stars. Back to you, Jeffrey.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ikhtifar, for sharing with us the awesome speech. Yeah. And that's the end of the project speech session. Now is the voting session for the best project speaker.
Is it okay?
We have a tie. Are we lacking one person? Has everyone voted?
One is my another Zoom master device.
Oh. Okay. Now it's okay.
Okay.
All right.
So I unvote. So thank you for everyone.
Okay, thank you for voting. Then that marks the end of the project speech session. I would like to hand over control to General Evaluator Nicholas to host the evaluation session. Toastmaster Nicholas, over to you.
Okay, for the next, thank you, Toastmaster Jeffrey, for letting me host the evaluation session. As the general evaluator, I would like to introduce the first evaluator, which is Zarina, which the notes to the evaluator is
Nick, sorry, the table topic evaluation first.
table
TTE.
topic. Sorry. So I will evaluate the table topic, which is Ikhtifar. The table topic offers a lot of varieties thanks to ChatGPT.
Nicholas.
What?
You invite Faris to become the table topic evaluator.
Oh, sorry. This is my first time. I was kind of confused. I want to invite Faris as the table topic evaluator. I will hand over the floor to Faris.
Please, Danish.
Oh, Danish.
Sound check 1, 2, 3. Can one hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, good evening, everyone. I'm Danish, and I'll be your table topic evaluator tonight. Now, we had 4 speakers tonight, and we had something very interesting, which is the usage of ChatGPT, the hot thing in today's market. And most of the topics were on self-reflection. With that said, let's get the ball rolling, as I only got 5 minutes. Okay, now let me just pull out the S Pen. All right, now for the first speaker, it is none other than Toastmaster Jefri. The title is Examining Social Structures Through a Critical Lens of Self-Reflection. Wow, that was a mouthful, all right. Now, for Toastmaster Jefri, you had a good opening in that you created this suspense. You gave the examples of it, such as social structures, like which leader said this, said that, and then why that, like example, Sheikh Sadiq. I'm not going to dive into politics, obviously. I'm trying to be as neutral as possible. Why he came, and then you have highlighted benefits like Alku. Yes, I agree with that. Therefore, you gave a suspense in that why he came, all that kind of stuff. Now, we also had a good examples. The good example, as you said, Sheikh Sadiq, and then we had the why it impacts our future generation. Then again, relegating back, you created the suspense and you had the explanation, which is really good. Now, one thing I would like to have is you should have a more in-depth explanation. Like you only say Alku this, Alku that. However, you should go into the disadvantages of Alku, which I'm not good, as I said, I'm sure some of you may know what is this thing. Well, and it's a very hot topic, especially among university students as of late, especially since the 2018 general election passed, this was a really hot topic on the abolishment. Has been said again and again. I'm sure UN management also has been trying their best not to do this. However, yes, I'm not going to dive into that. Therefore, you should explain why you feel like it should be abolished, but you also should highlight why the disadvantages if they abolish it, because it's not all bed of roses. Eventually, there is something there, and there's a reason why AUKU cannot really be abolished 100%, in that sometimes will still remain. It's also for social security. Another thing is you should use some gestures. I noticed that you're speaking only. However, I didn't see you using a lot of gestures. You should give some gestures, like if you want to say the statistic, why activism, something like that. Of course, I'm not encouraging you to be too active here. However, it would be nice if you have some gestures to liven up the atmosphere. Right. Now, going on to the second table topic speaker, Toastmaster Zarina, and it's another mouthful, reflecting on privilege and power of dynamics through personal experiences. I don't know why ChatGPT. Oh, that's the world of AI. Now, Toastmaster Zarina, you had a good flow in that you started off the introduction. You had a really good flow of it. Then you went on to the body where you started talking about your experiences, all that, what we are experiencing and how you relate it to the current things happening around the world, where you're very up to date on it. And you also had a very good closing on it. I like that. On top of that, you also had a great usage of examples. So you reflect on privileges. You say about why we are born privileged. Not everyone is born privileged. Or that you have a good example. So you relate it back to that example, which was really good. That it's like a reflection. Eventually, your speech, you were talking about it, at the same time, you reflect back. So that means you can gel the title together. Now, two things that could improve on. One would be the vocal modulation. While you had a very smooth and very sweet voice, I'm not doing anything here, but however, you had a really nice and a really calming voice. However, I believe there's some vocal modulation should be used to make the speech all the more pop. And also, you should give a more in-depth explanation. You were talking about privileges. Why not relate a personal story to yourself in your life? That will help make it all the more interesting. As when you relate it with a personal story, people can understand. You'll see that this table topic speaker is knowledgeable on that topic. Hence, that will be really nice. Now, the next speaker is our general evaluator, Toastmaster Nicholas, the Internet of Self-Reflection and Social Justice. You had a good opening, like you're highlighting a social justice, what it means, all that. And on top of that, you had a really simple grammar usage. However, I was just really getting into the topic, and then it was like it came to an abrupt end. Hence, it was a bit too brief. You should maybe try, because you have 2 minutes and 30 seconds. 30 seconds is the extra time. You actually have 2 minutes. You should try to think about it, or rather, sometimes a tip that I would suggest is you try to think first, brainstorm first. Usually in a contest, you'll see some of the contestants, if you go to district, they will take at least maybe 30 to 50 seconds to brainstorm. At least try to compose your ideas, how you're going to gel them together. That will make you easier to understand the topic and have more content. Hence, that's my suggestion. On top of that, since it is a bit brief, of course, I would love more lengthier explanation. Now, last but not least, Toastmaster Teng. This is at least easier with the topic, the benefits of self-journaling for reflection. Now, you had a good introduction in that you gave the topic on journaling. You said like why you write journals, all that. And I agree. Sometimes writing journals, when I was younger in secondary school, I used to write some journals, especially if I had a bad day, I would like to write the journal just because, I hated this person, I wanted to smash that person. Yes, it also releases your anger basically. And it also helps you compose yourself, compose your thoughts. And sometimes we refer back. Oh, this is really good. And then you also had a good introduction where you had the same suspense, you created the light's red already. You talk about your benefits of journaling, how it has helped you a lot. Where you related the topic back to related your story back to the topic. You had a good flow of the speech as well. Now, points to improve on in that, you had some unwanted gestures. While you do have gestures, however, they were of the unwanted. I noticed your head was moving here and there, and the hand was a little bit impacted. It's like, I wonder why. You should use 2 hands like that. Your eyes should be facing directly proportional to the screen. So therefore, when you see the gestures like that, because when it's like moving your head here and there, the speaker, the audience may be thinking, like, why is this speaker moving his head here and there? That's kind of annoying. Therefore, just try to reduce the unwanted gestures. And also, you should share a personal story. How journaling, example, maybe, let's say, oh, like I said, I had a bad day. I used journaling. That actually helped to elevate my expression. And when I think back, it actually helps me to become a better person. That will help make it all a story all the more better and stronger. With that, that's all. I hope you all self-reflect on this tonight. I also got to self-reflect on my performance tonight. With that, back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Danish, for giving your evaluating speech for the table topics. I would like to continue next towards I will call upon distinguished Toastmaster Zarina for her evaluation for Toastmaster Zhi Jun. The limit is 2 to 3 minutes, and I would like to pass the floor to you, Toastmaster Zarina.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Nicholas, General Evaluator. Zhi Jun, thank you for illuminating a subject that's often neglected, which is organ donation. The number 58 is coincidentally my house number, and it also is the number of people that we can help. Who would have thought, right, ladies and gents? The number of people that we can help. So we die. That's one of the things that I appreciated about Zhi Jun's speech, the fact that it's so well researched. She has done her homework. She showed us what organs can be donated, not just internal organs, but also what external organs can be donated. She told us who can donate. She told us why we should donate. And then she told us how and where we can sign up to become organ donors. So well done, Zhi Jun, on that. And I also appreciated that she used vocal variety in terms of phrasing the questions that she wanted, or she wanted us to ask, or that she posed in the speech for us to ask and for her to answer. There was also body language, a variety of body language to punctuate her points, like this, and like this. So Zhi Jun, how could you have elevated this speech more? This is an informational speech where you also wanted to persuade all of us to sign up to become organ donors. So there's a call to action at the end. So you have to add the emotion into it, and you can add the emotion by using your face. We often forget about our face, especially when we are virtual. But Zhi Jun, if you use your face, your facial expression, to denote sadness or to denote some sort of interest or curiosity, it can amplify the vocal variety that you use to power your message. Secondly, you should be mindful of using strategic silences, aka pauses. There was a lot of information that you gave, and we needed some time, a few seconds, to digest the information that you presented. So remember to pause in between your points so that the audience can absorb your message better. So Zhi Jun, you're a diligent speaker, you've done your homework well, and you speak from personal experience, which is always powerful. Consider using your face to unlock greater emotions and color to your speech, and to use strategic pauses. All the best for your future speeches. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Zarina, for your evaluation for Toastmaster Zhi Jun. Your evaluation was detailed, with commenting about Zhi Jun's vocabulary and body language, and I would say that Zhi Jun, you should listen to some of her advice to become a better speaker. I would like to pass the floor next to the next evaluator, which is Teng. Toastmaster Teng, you have 2 to 3 minutes for your evaluation.
Thank you, G. So right, again, congratulations to Eugene for completing all the speech objective. So again, there's actually one quote in the chat box that I feel it related to your title. With great power comes great responsibility. I think this is a very interesting quote and it's somehow related to what you're sharing, that we humans, we have no special power. But again, I would like to say that modify the quote a little bit. As we are aging, we gain age, we have more responsibility in our life, and things like self-discovery, discovering our authentic self, doing the things that we want, rather than looking and following what others are doing, are very important in this day and age. So some of the goods and highlights for the speech is, I think you have a great structure with enriching content. You start your story by sharing with us your background and also your personal story. I guess what you're sharing is actually an Asian parenting worldview, where as a kids, you have to excel in academic and somehow be an extrovert and excellent in extracurricular activities. But the mesmerizing part of your speech is the fact that that is not you, despite you step out of a comfort zone to connect with people, mingle around with people that you might not know previously. You feel exhausted because sometimes it is just hard to blend in. So again, actually reminds me of the movie Wednesday that I watched a few weeks ago. All the characters in the movie might be outcasts, but they truly shine with their unique personality and charm. And again, I guess maybe the characters in Wednesday, they have, successfully discovered their authentic self, and in order to get into the Nevermore Academy, who knows? And of course, you also share with us advice and benefits, of being yourself. They are great advice, and they truly resonate with me, such as celebrating your strength, accepting your own flaws and weaknesses, and also don't try to always live in someone else's life. And of course, I also noticed that you share your speech confidently with active hand gesture and expression. That's a plus point for you. So one of the area of improvement I can bring to you is that try to look at the camera when you are delivering your speech. I noticed that, again, I might not be looking at camera because I might not be an example because it's not my table topic performance. You can see not very good, but again, my advice to you is try to look at the camera, because online meeting setting, people are looking at you. That's the only way that you can see each other. So try to look at the camera when delivering your speech, and also do practice standing up when delivering your speech, because I feel some of the hand gesture are being covered. And one of the challenges that I can bring to you is that I feel you use quite a lot of we when you're sharing about your journey to discover your authentic self. I do like to hear more from you from the I perspective. And I feel it will definitely make your message more powerful. Like, for example, you talk about Spider-Man, Peter Parker, a third person point of view. Now change it to I. I want to share with all of you about the story. I just want to be a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man because I stand out for justice, then blah, blah, blah. And then it feels more easily to connect it to, rather than using we, like talk about all the purple people in the room. You try to use I, and then talk about your example. And then, like previously, if you're shy or embarrassed to take a first step, and then because you want to live up with the expectation, you are forced to do this and do that. But again, that is not my true self. And then you carry on long in your speech. And I feel that that would definitely be better. And that's it for all my evaluators notes, and back to you, G. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Teng, for your evaluation for Toastmaster Yee Chin's speech. You did great, giving a lot of quotes about what you saw. You said you've seen a movie about related to something about what Yee Chin said, which is like being authentic to our own self. So I would like to congratulate on you on that, and I would like to pass the floor to the next evaluator, which is evaluator Toastmaster Ming. You have 2 to 3 minutes to for your evaluation. Ming, here you go.
All right. Give me a moment. Share my screen. You guys see a screen?
It is blank. Oh yeah, now okay.
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Here's my evaluation report to Toastmaster Xing En about the speech, "What's wrong with the education system?" So I'd like to list out the content outline that I'll be sharing today. First of all will be speech objectives. What can we learn from Xing En? And some of the improvements that I would like to give to the speaker. So the speech objective is very simple. In fact, I can cross out the S there because there's only one. Xing En has successfully presented a persuasive speech and delivered it beautifully. And she checked the box. So speech objective is fulfilled. Now we move on to the things that we can learn from our speaker. First of all, I can see the authority that Xing En has shown us to boost the persuasiveness of talking about education, being at the positions that she has internship experience in teaching. Second, a TED Talk style persuasive speech. If you watch TED Talk videos, you'll see a lot of persuasive speech. I think Xing En has somewhat kind of similar to that style. And it's very crucial. I think it's a very crucial point when delivering a persuasive speech, especially with the proof and supporting materials that she had delivering to us. And third, it's the calm and showing no nervousness that she brought up, that we don't really judge, right? If a speaker shows nervousness and shows like nervous, we kind of judge, oh, is he or she really know what she's going to talk about? But Xing En has absolutely know what she's going to talk about. So calm and no nervousness. And the topic is very suitable to the target audience, which I believe that most of us are Malaysians having through the Malaysian education system. Finally, audience interaction is there. I can see that. Right, chatbots most utilized by our speaker Xing En. Moving on to the improvements and the challenge. First, notice that you could be persuasive start at the beginning. So instead of introducing your name, you could, because I know you were a bachelor student in TESOL, you could just introduce that to boost up, to bring out your persuasiveness, talking about education system. More evidence needed. I don't see statistic chart and slides graph that acts as evidence to the point, to your arguments. And more persuasive words I would like to hear, right? Should have to need. So be firm of your point that you would like to bring us. Strong ending. What's the ultimate persuasion, right? Is it the solutions they want to persuade? Is it a problem, right? And finally, a challenge is to generalize your speech. Instead of to Malaysian education, you can try bring up one level up to in the world. So conclusion, and this is my conclusion. I will leave it to all of you. And thank you so much. Back to the general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ming for your evaluation. I noted that I like your presentation style because you actually stated what things we should learn from Toastmaster Xing En, and also you gave her improvement and challenges, which is something that I found quite encouraging. You did great, Toastmaster Ming. Next, I would like to invite the next evaluator, which is the distinguished Toastmaster Harpreet for her evaluation for Ikhtifar, Toastmaster Ikhtifar.
Thank you. Ikhtifar, I love your opening. Your opening was sharing a mystery to us. And at the beginning, you turned to say that negative tarot card, how you turn negativity, and you decided, no, I'm going to change it into positivity. And you shared with us your leadership style, where you spoke a lot about delegating, delegation, and you used your own way of knowing how to delegate, where you introduced 4 words: listen, observe, heart, and mind. I also noticed how you shared, how you use this 4, listening, observing, the heart and the mind, and got your work done by delegating the right skills to the right person. And I love your ending with the quote that you used, that delegation. Leadership is not about delegation, but you spoke all about delegation. And you shared that it's to make people share. What I would like to see differently, what I would love to hear more about your speech is the leadership styles that is mentioned in the pathways. Toastmasters have put so much of thoughts sharing with us the pathway syllabus. And if you look at the pathway syllabus, what they want us to use are the words such as bureaucratic, authoritative, innovative, pace-setting, democratic, affiliative, coaching, illustrate. So how are you going to find this kind of leadership? What I notice is you should say, I am the innovative leadership style. And I give this task to this person because I notice he's authoritative. So in this situation, I move to an authoritative style. I would also love to see some stories, some ways how you have coached your teammate or even supported your teammate through this different leadership style. And if I would also love to see some self-reflection. When you are a leader, you do the 360 degrees evaluation, look at the mirror, do a self-reflection, and see whether how others perceive you and how you're reflected to yourself. And I would love you to turn the ending to say that, hey, see how negative, I brought it back to the positivity. So the tarot card was not right. Don't believe in all that. You can do it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for your evaluation, distinguished Toastmaster Harpreet. I like you had a good intonation when you were talking, which actually really caught my attention when you're giving that evaluation. You gave a good summary for Toastmaster Ikhtifar, and you said in the end, don't believe in the tarot cards, just do what we believe is the right choice. So I would like to conclude the evaluation session, and next I would like to invite the technical role players, which is, first of all, is the grammarian, Joshua.
Wait, should we vote first? Vote for the evaluator?
Yeah, evaluator, yeah.
Okay. I think it's done. So thank you so much.
Okay,
So
then.
back to you. Back to
Okay.
you.
Okay. Sorry for the fumble up. I would like to repeat, and I would like to invite our grammarian Joshua for his report for today's meeting.
Thank you to our general evaluator. I will share my screen on the grammarian's report. So here is the grammarian's report. First, I would like to point out on the word of the day reflect and how many usage and its usages. Zarina used it once, Nicholas used it once, Teng used it twice, Xing En used it once, Danish used it twice, and lastly Harpreet used it once. Next is the good selection of words, phrases, idioms, or rhetorical devices. Jefri said a horrendous system. For Zhi Jun, A second chance is on your hands. For Yee Chin, don't waste it in living someone else's life and accept that we are not perfect. Lastly, Xing En, do students depend more on memory or critical thinking skills? And in this meeting, we don't have any mispronounced word. Great job to everyone. Moving on is the grammatical errors. We have the first one. The theme for today is actually, maybe we can say the theme for today is, and the theme for the meeting. The second error, thinking and speaking on the feet, perhaps thinking and speaking on their feet. Display the timing device, display the timing background. Since we are in an online setting, perhaps background is a much more better word. Playing social media, I think it can be scrolling through social media. Do your family allow? Does your family allow? Starting from 6th of September, despite you step out of your comfort zone, despite stepping out of your comfort zone, be persuasive, starts at the beginning, perhaps be persuasive at the start of the speech. Lastly, leadership style that is mentioned in the pathways, leadership style that are mentioned in the pathways. And that is all from me. Back to you, General Evaluator. GE, back to you.
We cannot hear you, Nicholas.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Okay, now I'd like to thank our grammarian, Toastmaster Joshua, for his report. And I'd like to proceed next to the R counters report, which is provided by Toastmaster Henry. Toastmaster Henry, the floor is yours.
Thank you, General Evaluator. I'd like to share my screen. Everyone, can you see my screen? Hello. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. So for Yumi, you have 0 total pause fillers. Congratulations. And for Toastmaster Jefri, you have 1 3 and 2 repeated words, which is and 4 total 6 pause fillers. Next, for Toastmaster Joshua, you have 0 total pause fillers. Congratulations. For Toastmaster Nicholas, we have 2 1 R, 18 and 1 repeated word, which is the next and next two. Total of 22 pause filler. For Toastmaster Ikhtifar, we have 2 1 R, and 5 We have 5 repeated word, which is so, and, or, that, the. For inappropriate interjection, you have 1, you can know that. So you have total 14 total pause fillers. Next, for Toastmaster Zarina, you have 0 fillers, but you have 2 repeated words, which is two, like this, and you have 1, you have inappropriate interjection, you have to have. So it's total 3 pause fillers. For Toastmaster Ming, you have 1 R and 3 You have 0 repeated words and 0 inappropriate interjection. So you have total 4 pause fillers. For Toastmaster Kean, we have 6 and 2 repeated words, and then, and. So you have total X pause fillers. For Toastmaster Zhi Jun, you have 1 1 R, 2 You have 3 repeated words, which is so, have many, is. You have 4 inappropriate interjection, which is, do you think that you want to or not do the good things? We conclude total 10 total pause filler. For Toastmaster Yee Chin, you have 0 fillers, but 1 repeated words, which is and 1 inappropriate interjection, which is but 1. So it's total 2 pause fillers. For Toastmaster Xing En, you have 1 and you have 1 repeated word. I don't need, if they can, and you have total 2 pause filler. For distinguished Toastmaster Harpreet, you have 0 filler, but you have keep repeating the word and and your total post failure is 2. Lastly, for Toastmaster Danish, we have 2 and 4 repeatable, which is the hot, and then, now, it's not all, with total 6 post failure. So I would like to say you guys have courage and let's try again to be better. Thank you. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Henry, for your accountants report. Next, I would like to proceed to the timers report. Toastmaster Ming, you may have the. I will pass you the floor now. Ming, we can't hear you.
Thank you. Thank you, General Evaluator Nicholas, for giving me a chance to represent my report. First and foremost, I need to share the screen. Are you guys able to see the screen?
Not yet. Okay.
Yes. Hold on. Oh dear. Wow. Okay. So based on my recollection of my memory here, so basically I can say all the table topic speakers and all the project speakers have managed to done all their speeches within the time allocated. Congratulations. Okay. As for the evaluation part, Danish has spent 7 minutes and 17 seconds for his evaluation speech, which is overspent 1 minute and 7 seconds. As for speech evaluator, first speech evaluator, Zarina, she spent 3 minutes and 8 seconds. Second speech evaluator, Teng, spent about overspent 40 seconds. Third speech evaluator, who is Ming, spent about 3 minutes and 28 seconds. And lastly, our fourth speech evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Harpreet, she spent 3 minutes and 37 seconds, which is overspent 37 seconds. Now, as for the technical role players, Grammarian Joshua has spent 2 minutes and 17 seconds. And our counter Henry has spent 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And lastly, as for me, timer, I spent about 2 minutes and 5 seconds and that's all from my report. Back to you, General Evaluator.
All right. Thank you, Toastmaster Ming, for your timers report. Next, I would like to continue with the provide the meeting and evaluation for everyone. So today is actually my first time as being a general evaluator. Sorry for as you can see, I'm quite nervous and I was kind of confused at first. So I would like to apologize for that. But I was very happy that you gave me this opportunity to express myself and be given this be given this opportunity because I like to have more experiences in the future. Okay, so far I would say that this meeting is a success as everyone managed to have finish their speeches in their time allocated. And for all of the role players, I would like to thank you for your efforts, and I also like to thank Danish for being the Toastmaster evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Harpreet and distinguished Toastmaster Zarina for being evaluators. I would like to conclude this meeting and I would like to return the control back to the Toastmaster of the evening, Jefri.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nicholas, for hosting the evaluation session. Let me share my screen. Now the moment we have all been waiting for, the award ceremony. Now for the award for the best table topic speaker goes to, drum roll please. Distinguished Toastmaster Zarina. Woo! Is she here?
I think she has left.
She left
Okay.
already.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, I just screenshot with TME now. Take a photo.
Sure. Okay.
All right.
Congratulations, distinguished Toastmaster Zarina. Now, the award for the best project speaker goes to drumroll, please. Zhi Jun. Woo!
Was it? Wait. I pick with myself. Oh,
Okay. Okay, sure.
Okay. But yeah. 3, 2, 1.
Congratulations, Zhi Jun.
Wow. Very first time.
Right. Now, the award for the best evaluator goes to, drumroll, please. President Ming. Woo!
Thank you.
Wow, Ming Kang.
You have slides, then you win. I just kidding.
Share secrets.
Slides.
Share your cards.
ChatGPT.
Wait, who's taking the picture?
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
All right. And that wraps up. Oh, wait. Now we have the appreciation to our general evaluator, none other than our UMTMC member, Nicholas. Woo!
Yay, thank you guys.
Wait, yeah. Let me take a pic.
Nicholas can go around already, become GE.
Yes, but I need to improve on myself lah. I think I did quite okay, but I want to improve on my nervousness and sometimes I was confused a bit.
You improve by going around to become GE.
No, going clubbing.
Correct.
Going clubbing and have more experience.
Right.
Come to W5. Become GE.
Okay. We shall proceed to presiding officer's closing address. I would like to hand over control to Meng. Over to you.
Thank you so much, everyone, for attending this meeting, first and foremost, including all our beloved members who managed to take their semester break just to come over here to have a good chat and good learning experience with us throughout this meeting. And I'd like to point out the second thing, which is I'd like to thank all the role players, especially distinguished Toastmaster Harpreet, which is here with us, still with us tonight, Danish, and Zarina. She just actually messaged to me that she leaves earlier after evaluation. So yeah, thanks to you all for coming over and help us to improve our members' communication and leadership skills. Everything. Thank you so much. So the theme of today is actually look at the mirror, and now we have seen our own internal member, Nicholas Leong, has done as a good job as a GE, despite a lot of hiccups in the beginning, but I believe he can do more, Toastmasters, but doing more and more and more, and practice makes perfect. One day you'll be great. I must admit, I myself as a presiding officer, being my first time, I was quite nervous at the start, a lot of fumbling around at the start. I think I do miss out a bit. At first, I tried to read the script from the computer, but turns out, I don't feel like reading, and I just say whatever I want. Turns out that wasn't a good decision after all. That is quite sad. But I managed to put it through and managed to pretend holding a gavel to start a meeting, which is something Ming Kang loves to do all the time. Right, Ming Kang?
I don't have it with me right now.
I'm talking about physical meetings.
He loves to talk
Yeah.
lah. He loves to talk.
I always forget.
Just hit the gavel. And of course, I'd like to hear some thoughts from our fellow members and guests, and also anyone who's doing any role player. I'd like to share the thoughts first.
Me?
Hi, Ming Kang. So, any thoughts about this meeting?
Overall good quality. I would suggest to do technical tests to prevent any hiccups, because we try to minimize those hiccups to our own, not to show it. Yeah.
I don't know. My computer is getting clunkier the time goes by. I don't know what happened to it.
So I suggest to do a rehearsal or test.
I will swap it to a tablet next time. So maybe I hope it works. Yeah. So anyone else like to share their thoughts, like Danish? Like to share a word with us?
All right. Okay. My thoughts for tonight. Overall, I enjoyed this meeting tonight, and of course, as usual, by UMTMC, a very well conducted meeting. Of course, eventually there are hiccups here and there. However, as the saying goes, if you fail to, as the saying goes, failure breeds success. Therefore, there's no such thing as everything is 100% perfect. Eventually, we all have to start somewhere. And another quote, you will not achieve success if you don't take the first step. Therefore, yes, this is like everyone, we're all doing our first steps. We are moving ahead and slowly. Not everyone has the same pace. It's how we live on our own. But eventually, the most important is we get there. We get to where we want to be. That's all. That's the most important. With that, that's all. Looking forward to the next meeting whenever time permits. Back to you, Mr. Ming.
Thank you so much. I have one more person left to share your thoughts with before I make some announcements. Anyone here, our fellow members, like to share this? Apart from typing what's your thoughts in the chat box, you can actually say out loud here. Any suggestions or anything you'd like to tell us?
Yeah, I want to share my thoughts.
Yeah, go ahead, Jeffrey.
I don't know how it happened, but like compared to the first time I attended the meeting as a technical role player, I don't know how eventually UMTMC went from going overtime for meeting to eventually end on time. There must be some magic that occurred there. Surprisingly though.
Okay, thank you so much. I believe it's actually we cut down on unnecessary notes to evaluator and sorts of cutting some unnecessary delays here and there. And okay, now let's go for the announcement. So thank you so much, Jefri, Danish, and Ming Kang for your thoughts. Thank you so much. And now I'd like to give a few announcements before I end this meeting. So the first announcement, I just repeat whatever Ming Kang says and just claim my own. I hope I don't mind. So the first one will be the cable and UM Toastmasters workshop, which is titled How to Pitch in 1 Minute Time. So for those members who are able to make it and able to attend, I highly encourage you guys to participate, especially I would say undergraduates, the most appropriate one, because you guys going to get employed soon. And that is something you can show off in your CV, apart from doing your Toastmaster project level 4 or level 5. If you need any assistance in terms of education programs, I will help. I try my best to help you guys out. You just WhatsApp to me. I can let you know how to go around it. That's the first point here. And the second point is the Monash University Toastmasters meeting. Monash University's contest, right, Ming? Is that true?
Yes.
IST, right? International Speech and Table Topics contest, right?
Yes.
Okay, so come next Saturday. So next Saturday will be it, but unfortunately I couldn't attend because every Saturday morning for me is tuition. I have to make money. So for those who are able to attend, just have fun and enjoy it. Well, enjoy going here and there and meet up friends. Monash is a nice place next to Sunway after all. Sunway is the best place to go around. I think
My
Ikhtifar agrees with me.
workplace.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, it's a public transport friendly area. Everyone love it. Kenneth's wet dream, actually. I'm just kidding.
Come on,
Okay.
come away in some way lah.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. I will meet you on a weekday lah. That's for sure. My weekends normally quite occupied. And as for the third point, which is help me to recall this. Is it something with what, Ming? May I to share it? May I telling me what it is? I remember you
I'm
told me
sharing the
that.
screen. I'm sharing it. The screen.
Oh,
Do you?
yeah.
Sorry,
Tomorrow
I share my screen.
last day to buy the ticket. Okay. Actually, I'm very tempted to go with you guys, but because now it's my final year of PhD and my professor keep knocking the door in my back, so I think I couldn't make it. But if you need some sponsorship, actually, I can help out on that regard. Is it true that Ikhtifar, you need 5 to get a free banner?
Ming?
Is it free banner? I remember there's something free if you buy more than how many tickets?
Yeah.
Oh.
There's this like if you buy 5 tickets lah, but I'm not sure whether student tickets are included in the promotion.
If they need the quota of 5 help out with that 300 lah, then someone who is lucky can get the ticket lah, wherever it is. So we need the banner lah. You know, it's not cheap for student clubs to have one of this. So I hope the Ming will just update me on this. So for those who are able to attend, I encourage you guys to attend. I'm not sure it can be put in the CV, but it will help you to be a better person. So those people wanting to be future leaders of this humble establishment, I encourage you guys to go for this. And that's all from me. And last thing is that any of you guys want to go to Kang? 15 is there's a meeting from Kang Bilingual Toastmasters Club. So I'm attending it. It's a Wednesday. Huh?
PM me later.
Okay, no problem. So this, I just received the confirmation recently, so forgive me for saying right now. I will type it out for you guys to see lah. If you guys want to come to Klang or whatever, then you can just hitch a ride or something like that. Okay, now after this announcement, I'm happy to say this meeting has successfully concluded with the gavel up close. Thank you all for attending this meeting. I think we can just end this meeting once